Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Risk disclaimer: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Right, the goal of the webinar here is to introduce you to Bookmap. We'll go through the website just to show you or define what Bookmap is, show you who connects to Bookmap or uses Bookmap, how to connect to the various markets, how to subscribe to Bookmap, some of the other resources like our blog, etc. And then we're going to look at the live market order flow. Okay, we're going to just start with the basics, understand the elements on the Bookmap chart, define them, and then start to analyze the order flow. And this is what we do in the education. There's education that comes with the subscription. There's a 4-part educational course. That's always available online. Then every day following this webinar at 11 a.m., we go through the advanced order flow webinar. Okay? It goes for about 45 minutes to an hour. In that webinar, we go through live analysis based on our educational course. And then the analysis, which is very objective in our process, we start to anticipate where price might go. Okay? So there's some resources and a bit of news I want to go through first before we dive in and start to define what Bookmap is here. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the Twitter feed here and want to let you guys know about now you can trade BitMEX, Bitfinex, and OKCoin with all these different crypto exchanges right through Bookmap. Okay, so I can show you how to do that, and I'll briefly go through it right now. And then for those of you interested in swing trading, well, you can swing trade by understanding the order flow in Bookmap. We've gone through this in the advanced order flow webinar all week. Okay, and we finally got our move yesterday, right? We're looking for the big move based on what we saw on last Thursday and Friday. Just want to mention that you can use the Bookmap on these much higher time frames. Okay, understanding the order flow, understanding how larger players are positioning themselves, and you can start to capture these big moves. For example, you can see I tweeted this. Now we were looking for this. Doesn't matter. I mean, not trying to call the market. It's just there is an objective process, and based on that, we anticipated the move. Okay, and you can see even anticipating still. Let's see. This was. Let's open this up in a bigger window. Hold on. Okay, you can see here we tweeted this out just a little after 3 Eastern, okay, and we hadn't touched yet this kind of, you can see the liquidity up here, right, just above the figure at 7,300. Okay, looking for that to test, okay, based on the bullish outlook, multi-day order flow analysis. Not only were we looking for 7,300 and above, we're looking for, let's go back here. In the tweet, as you can see, we even mentioned in the advanced order flow webinar, 7,350. Okay, and just to let you know and show you, here's the move. This is what it looked like. All of the absorption we saw on the way down here, then we consolidated on Monday, and then yesterday we had our breakout. All right, we were first looking for around this 7,300. Where was 7,300? It's actually a little bit higher here. I'm getting all confused here. 7250, 7300, and went right up to 7350 here. So 7300 is right here, okay? But we were also looking for and calling for it moving up to where it dropped from on October 10th up into this area here. So the point is you can start to understand order flow on much higher time frames and bring that into your trading. Okay, point made. Let's go and jump into Bookmap. Let me know if you have any questions about the crypto. Okay, all right, so we want to know about crypto. All right, so let me show you this in Bookmap. For those of you who are already subscribers, this is where you're going to find it under settings, okay, manage plugins, and then you'll see the it loads some plugins. Now this is with the new Bookmap API, which is a really exciting direction. So you can install the BitMEX adapter and Bitfinex adapter here, okay? And then under connections, you'll have OKCoin and GDAX already. So you can configure these, etc. You're already gonna have access to it. All of the data for the cryptocurrencies is free. All right, anyway, let's move on and let's define what Bookmap is for those of you who are new. Scroll down here. What is Bookmap? We are a trading platform. Okay, we're software. We're not a data provider. We're not a broker. We just have a very unique way of visualizing the data. Okay, that's our advantage here. Okay, we're a platform just like anyone else though, like NinjaTrader or TradeStation or Thinkorswim. All right, let's continue on. Who uses Bookmap? All right, day traders, scalpers, swing traders, and quants. Okay, we came from the quant environment, but I just demoed, and we'll look at it again as well, how you can use Bookmap on much higher time frames for swing trading, as well as for scalping. Continue on, and connectivity. Okay, all right, so we connect to 3 different types of markets: futures, US equities, and digital currencies. The digital currencies data is free. For US equities and futures, you will need to provide the data. Okay, we're software. We're not a broker. We're not a data provider. For US equities, the only way to connect is through DXFeed. So you'll need to subscribe first to Bookmap, then to DXFeed. For futures, you have a lot of different ways of connecting here: Rhythmic, CQG, Gain Capital, Transact, IQFeed, Nanotick, and Cedro. If you want, you also have the option to connect Bookmap through the API of 3 different platforms: TTX Trader Pro, Ninja 7 and 8, and Interactive Brokers Traders Workstation. We recommend to bypass the API though and go directly with the data provider. Okay? Don't connect to another platform if you don't have to. You'll get cleaner data and you won't have to deal with the API of another software trading platform. All right, let's continue on. There's a link here if you want to try some free data from other data providers. Packages and pricing here. All right, now you can see you can subscribe monthly, yearly, and you get a 20% discount, but you can also purchase lifetime. And this is a new product here that we've never offered this until just a few weeks ago. You can also get Bookmap Global Plus lifetime here. It comes with all the add-on indicators. Anyway, let me describe what each package is, okay? And we'll look at the monthly version here. The digital version is free, okay? So you can connect to all those digital exchanges I just mentioned, and it's free, and the data is free, and those markets are always open. So you can connect and be up and running and look at a live market right away. The only drawbacks here is you only get access to 1 digital currency at a time. Okay, that's it. All right. Anyway, moving on and connecting to different markets, you'll need Bookmap Global. So if you're a futures trader or equities trader, I would recommend subscribing for a month, trying it out, cancel at any time, and see if this is something that works for you. You get up to 20 different digital currencies here as well, okay, per exchange. So you can have all sorts of digital currencies open. Then for the Bookmap Global, the big distinction here is the add-on package. Okay, the add-on packages is our proprietary, or contains our proprietary indicators we developed. They look at very specific order flow phenomena. Like, for example, our large lot tracker, we look at larger players in the order book. Okay? We want to understand what the larger players are doing, and our algo can detect that. We also have an iceberg detector. Okay? It's, again, looking at larger players. We want to understand where they're hiding their liquidity using hidden orders, icebergs. And we can do that with our algo. Okay, and that's going to give you an advantage. Anyway, that's what the Bookmap Global Plus is all about. And then if you want a breakdown, you can click here and see all the different plans in detail. All right, the free webinar is here, some testimonials, and the other resources. The blog here, you might want to check out some articles in here. For example, we just tweeted about it as well, but the 30+ materials here for become an expert with order flow trading. Okay, that's something you might want to take a look at. We went through our Twitter feed already, so you understand all the different stuff that we put here. And then let's look at our YouTube page. Okay, so this is our basic education. Okay, for those of you who are not subscribing, there's some Bookmap intro videos here, so you understand what Bookmap is. Some of the features and components in the playlist here. Some selected webinars to check out, and then our order flow education here. Right, these videos I think you'll find very helpful. 2 to 3 minutes long, but they uncover the order flow phenomena that Bookmap can visualize for you. This is the advantage you're getting using Bookmap. This is what we go through in our advanced education in detail. Okay, this just gives you kind of the concepts of them. Anyway, I still think you'll find them very, very helpful. All right, let's jump into Bookmap and see what's going on. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, well, we are selling off today. Okay, and that is to be expected, really. Why? Well, that high time frame move is it came up into where they sold it before. We anticipate sellers to be up here on this higher time frame. And we're coming right back down into an area here. Now, I'm going through this candlestick chart first, and we do this in the advanced order flow webinar, just to give you some insight though. Okay, this is the process we go through, is we want to understand higher time frame stuff and then what to anticipate. Like we know, we think we anticipate them to be sellers up here, okay? And there are. Where is it going to go? Well, I think it's going to go right back down into this little volume cluster that is here from October 10th, maybe down a little bit further to 7,200, the figure, which is right here, okay, which was a high back on October 12th. And we seem to be coming right down to it right now. Let's jump into Bookmap and see what it has to say. Okay, looks good. Okay, we are selling off here. And you can see the big move here. You know, the cash open, it kind of moved to the upside a little bit, and then wow, did it sell off? Okay, immediately. In fact, this is one of the phenomena we look for. See how there's liquidity here in the book, this is pre-market, pre-open, and they stayed in here, and it looks like they transacted, but we traded through. Now these guys were on the bid. Now they flip to the other side and they're on the offer. Where is this area? 7,300, the figure. Okay, you're going to see this all the time, especially in stocks. Right? This is just some of the basic order flow phenomena that just repeats again and again. And it is accepting down below 7,300, and it's continuing to trend lower. All right, so let's define, you know, if you're new, maybe you're already lost looking at this, and doesn't make much sense. So let's define it. All right, and let me close up some of the add-on indicators that we have here. You get all sorts of stuff like a cumulative volume delta subchart, a point of control, historical indicator, as well as a historical VWAP, which you can see is working really nicely here. We'll go over that in the advanced webinar. And then our iceberg detector here, let's turn that off. All right. 3 elements are on this Bookmap chart for those of you who are new and want to understand what you're looking at. They're very basic elements here. It's not difficult to understand. It may look overwhelming, like there's a lot going on here, but it's very simple data and it's very easy to understand. The 3 elements are, and let's just take them all off here to begin with. Okay, it's best bid and offer, volume dots, and a heat map. Okay, so we just have a blank chart. We have a volume subchart here. That's it. Okay, so the first element on the Bookmap chart is best bid and offer. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's not a candlestick, it's best bid and offer over time. Why is this an advantage? Well, let's put a candlestick chart on here and I'll just demo this. Okay, here's a 5-minute candlestick chart. Okay, let's zoom in just a little bit. Okay, now with a 5-minute candlestick chart, you're missing all sorts of detail because this is an aggregate period. It's a period of data. Open, high, low, and close is there are only 4 data points you're getting for each 5-minute period. Now, you might be looking at Renko bars, you might be looking at volume bars, you might be looking at a point and figure chart. Doesn't matter. It's still aggregated data, and the problem is it's opaque. It doesn't give you the details of really what happened in the price action. Okay. For example, we can zoom in a little bit further here, and we can start to see all sorts of details in here. Okay, so we're already breaking down the traditional 5-minute chart here that we're all pretty accustomed to, and looking at data in a different way. Okay, so for example, between this 5-minute period, there's all sorts of stuff that happened here. There's microstructures and even, kind of medium-term structures, and areas of consolidation, breakout, okay, and then consolidation again. As you can see, big area consolidation here, and then a breakout. Okay, here's a breakout that failed, came right back into the range. Okay, this breakout here was sustained, and you can see it actually. Let's get the candlestick chart off, okay, because it's really getting in the way. Here's the breakout here, and it was sustained. Okay, started to trend higher. Okay, in this time frame. Okay, here's another one, another little area of consolidation, breakout, another one. Okay, so we're starting to understand now really what happened with price. Okay, throwing that candlestick chart right back on here, we don't get that. It's completely opaque. We don't get any of that information here. You just see these bars going back and forth. Okay, now what we want to know is truly where the volume traded in these areas here. Okay, that's the second element on the Bookmap chart. Okay, let's take the candlestick back off. Let's clear our drawings, because what we're going to see, and we'll see it in the volume here, the transactions that took place on this historical best bid and offer. You're going to see a move here to the upside, right? It broke this swing high here, and it accepted above it for a bit, right? But what we're going to see down here is we're going to see a lot of sell volume here. Okay, and they hit the bid hard. They came all the way down and tested this swing low down here. Okay, so we found the sellers up here, no question. Okay, and we're going to see them here, right? I haven't looked at it yet, but I imagine that's what we're going to see because that's just how these markets work. Yeah, you can see that the selling really started to pick up here. You see that there's a cluster of. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. Okay. You can see the cluster here, and look at the color of it. Now there's a lot of buying in here too, but there's more selling here. Okay, you can even see the sellers pick it up here, right? And that now we're getting more selling at lower lows. Sellers are taking control. Nice little pullback here with the buy volume. You see the green dots back up to where we broke from here, where there were sellers earlier, and it continued to the downside. Okay, we're understanding now, really reading the tape. Okay, and the tape and the volume are important. We want to understand this, like a footprint chart, which is on a bar, like a candlestick, gives you that precise volume. The problem is, though, is you don't see the structure. You don't see these little breakdowns like this and this sideways consolidation, and the sellers take control again. These kinds of details give you so much more insight. Where do we expect a pullback here? To this area right here. We got it. And the sellers came back in where there's not enough buyers. We see more selling here, looking for it to break down again, okay, and continue. And we get another pullback right to where we broke down again. And here's another one again. You'll see this pattern, repeat over and over. And this is one of the strategies we go through in the educational course. Okay? So if you're bearish, you'd be looking for those pullbacks, get in, try to ride it to the downside. Anyway, these are only two elements on the Bookmap chart, okay? And we're already getting tremendous insight by understanding microstructure or structure and volume, okay? Here's the details when we really zoom in here, okay? And these are very, very simple elements, okay? Just best offer is the red line, best bid is the green line. Now, what traded on the best offer here, you see these red dots? These are market sell orders. They hit the market sell button, crossed the spread, paid up for it, and took liquidity off of the best bid. This is how price moves, okay? If they take enough liquidity off of the best bid, it will go down to the next best bid. Okay, they traded through that area. That's how price moves. All right, now that's all great to see and understand, and we can zoom in and look at nanosecond levels here and see all sorts of details of precisely where things traded and how much. It's not just dots, it's you can see the volume of 8 here for that last line of text. Anyway, we don't trade off of those levels, so when we zoom back out, look what we do. Okay, we've consolidated that just graphically into a bigger dot, and it gives us overall volume of 33. All right, so anyway, very precise data. We come from that HFT environment, but when we start to zoom out, now we can get bigger picture understanding of what really occurred, okay, on the higher time frame. All right, now it's great to read the tape and understand this, but where are they bidding and offering? This is the piece that's missing, and that's what we cover in the heat map, okay? And this is what we visualize. And then this is giving a complete picture now of the order flow, because we have the transactions, but we don't know where they're bidding and offering. Okay, so let's go to the live market here, and let me show you what I'm talking about here and how this heat map is derived. Because this is that orange, yellow, blue, and white, red heat map here. Okay, the scale of the heat map is up here. Red is the most liquidity, and I'll discuss liquidity in just a minute. And then less liquidity is orange, then yellow, then white and blue, and then ultimately black. So let's zoom in here. We're looking at current price. This vertical white line separates the historical market to the left. Okay, this is what just occurred. And then the current market is right here in this window. Okay, this is your best bid and offer right here. This is your last traded volume. Here's your price ladder. And then the COB column, let's just go through one column here, stands for current order book. What this is displaying in this column here, these numeric values, it's liquidity. These are contracts, okay? So you can see high liquidity here, 102 contracts up at 49. And now they just pulled that. And now it's down to 22, okay? So, well, what we do in Bookmap is we take these numeric values and we transpose them into a heat map here in this current market window. So you don't have to look at the numeric values any longer. You can just look at the heat map and understand there's high liquidity here. The magic comes when we record that and plot it on the chart historically. So that's all this heat map is. Okay, so just understanding where they're bidding and offering. In this case, we're seeing them offer pretty high liquidity. And what's their behavior though? Now we can start to read it and understand it in terms of context. When you're looking at a dome and these numbers change, then that information is gone. You're gonna have to remember that there are 102 contracts up here at 49. Okay, you don't know that now, right? But we knew that back here, and we also can read it and understand their intent. Okay, what was their intent? Well, I can already see. Look at this area here, how they had 102, and they pulled it, and they added it lower here, most likely, right? Most likely, and then they stayed in this market here for a bit, and then they started to pull again, and you can see them pulling and adding up into these higher levels. Now they're up here at 72.50. The intent to trade can be read here with the higher liquidity. Do they want to trade? And the answer here is no. They pulled it and added it higher. They want to be sellers now at a higher level. So you can start to gauge and understand the auction and think of it just like an auction. Okay? That is the most helpful model, at least it was for me when I was learning Bookmap. And a very, very simple model of an auction. Do they want to sell up here? And it's not really too clear. I would say no. Every time we come up here, maybe 72.50 stays in the book, but the rest are pulling, as you can see. Okay, so if the buyers want to step it up, they can probably trade through this area here. And we just need to find the aggressor. It looks like we're going to get our test here. Okay, they're mounting another attack here. Let's see them come up into 72.50 now. See if they've got the volume here to be able to do that. Okay, now that's on the offer. Where are they on the bid? Well, they're down here at 72.40. Okay, now look at them bid up here actually. Okay, 72.44. Look at them pulling here. I'm looking for that 72.50 to trade. Okay, and they may even pull. You can see them adding up here now at 54. Come on, guys, let's see our test. We should get it here. Boom. Okay, it did test into it, didn't it? Yeah, not one contract traded, but the offer went into there. Still looking for the buyers to test into 50 here. Anyway, so that's the complete picture here, what you're looking at, okay? So very, very simple data. Let's just review. Best bid and offer here. Let's go through it here. Best bid and offer, okay? So not aggregated data, and that's the advantage because we don't want to look at aggregated data. We want to look at exactly what happened, okay? The volume that traded on that best bid and offer, understanding pressure here, see buyers come in, more buyers, more buyers, more buyers here, okay? And then we just came shy of our test here, actually. We still might mount they might mount an attack here, but now we're starting to see sellers in here. In fact, what happened up here in the tape? Okay, just by reading the volume here, look at the exhaustion point right here. Okay, we didn't find buyers. Okay, I was looking for them. Looking for them to step it up right around here. They did, they came in, they traded up to this area here, but we didn't get any follow through. In fact, we made a lower high here, all right? So we exhausted out and we found some sellers, bring it right back down. Okay, so that's just reading the, the pressure here in the volume. And then let's add on that third element, the heat map. And now we start to understand bidding and offering in these areas. Okay, now we're looking at just this kind of recent market action here, and it's been really good. It's been helpful. Okay, but let's zoom out because now because all of this data is recorded historically, we can look at order flow on much higher time frames. So look at this really interesting area down here, down at 72.30 and 72.20. I mean, just massive amount of liquidity. They've been in here for a while. Okay, also here at 72.50, and they traded, looks like, and it slowed down the downward movement. Okay, consolidated for a while, and then it broke down again, right into high liquidity here at 30 and at 20. Okay, that's why we're finding buyers here. It's because of this kind of action down here. Okay, understanding it and understanding it on the higher time frame. This here is what we saw happen over multiple days last Thursday and Friday, which led us to believe that there would be an upwards move here early this week. Okay, now I called for it on Monday because of what we saw, but we didn't get follow through. Okay, consolidated here. In fact, this is what we see in the order flow all the time on much smaller time frames. We get a rotation, a few rotations back and forth, but we know where they are down here. So we're still anticipating, we're still bullish looking for that move. Okay. All right, so same thing here. Let's see if they can continue. Now we got something kind of interesting here and we need to kind of understand it a little bit clearer, is the breakdown here, okay? We need to see volume, a lot of buy volume trade back up above 72.50 here for this to, and then maybe get up to the swing here at 72.72. All right, so anyway, that's what we do in the advanced education. We're gonna drop this webinar here. We'll end it, and we'll get into the advanced order flow webinar starting in just a minute. So if you guys are subscribers, we'll see you over there, okay? All right, thanks guys.